No, that's the old creaky human body grunt. I'm not fat anymore. I don't have a fatty
Just
grunt.
kidding. But that's not the thing.
I know, but most people aren't even gonna
No,
get
that's
that joke. I don't think
okay.
anybody I don't know if anybody out there under the age of 30 understands Harvey Birdman, attorney at law.
But they should.
I know, that's old school Adult Swim. So you'll have to pardon the chair squeaking and my terrible, horrible wife who just accused me of being fat. So, yeah.
Sorry.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to LR Mornings with Kyle and not Jammer. I'm Kyle,
I'm Christine.
who is obviously not Jammer. Jammer is slacking again today because that's what he does. I mean, he likes to throw around that title editor-in-chief and act like he's some big honcho or something like that at the site. But no, he's not. He's just a slacker, like Marty McFly.
I knew you were going to go there.
So, Christine, thanks for being on. Not like you have a lot of choice.
Yeah, no, I didn't. That's okay.
But people seem to enjoy you last time. So, good stuff on your the last time when we talked Spider-Man, that was your very first podcast. So, good job on that and welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
We got something that I'm really glad you're on to talk about, and that's the Mulan trailer that hit yesterday during the U.S. Women's World Cup final, where the United States beat the Netherlands, if I'm not mistaken, in a whole whopping score of like 2-0, 1-0, because it's soccer, and soccer has incredibly low scoring games.
Yeah, we actually just talked about that today.
Yes, we did, and how to make soccer more appealing to Americans, like cutting the field in half, stopping the clock during play, making it easier to score. And I looked up that like the most aggressive offensive team was like Argentina for the longest time, and their average shots on goal per game was 9.
Oh, wow.
Like hockey teams average like 30 shots per game in hockey, and the average goals scored per game is like 3 point something, but it's like less than one average goals for soccer. Like, anyways, yeah, we there was something that came out during the final game, which was the Mulan trailer. Now, those of you that have been listeners and readers of LRM for a while know that I'm not that big on Disney. Not that big on musicals specifically. So the princess musical movies, I don't care about. We did LRM Ranks It. We did everything Disney from the very, very beginning through Pixar, including the CGI Disney animated pictures and all that. And I had to have Nick and Jammer do...
Because you don't watch any of them.
Because I don't really, like, other than some of the stuff from the 90s, I couldn't rank anything. And that would be like Lion King and Aladdin. And then I'd be sitting there like, the rest of them suck. But you're a fan. You like these movies.
Yes, I do.
So, and I know that you haven't been the world's biggest fan of the live action remakes. You've only seen a couple of them, but you did like Cinderella and you liked Beauty and the Beast well enough, right?
It was meh.
It was meh.
That's how I'm gonna describe it. I felt like with Beauty and the Beast, it filled up some holes, but then it made new ones that the old one didn't even have. So it was just kind of like, why did you? I don't know. Like the scene where Gaston goes to see Belle.
Mm-hmm.
It really was a powerful scene in the original, but it wasn't in the remake. They kind of played it down, and then Belle was like so mad, and it was like your anger's a little too high for what happened. But okay. But as for the trailer, I thought it was really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Walk us through a little bit about the trailer. First off, I'll say that to me it looks like exactly what I would want, which it looks like it's going to be a war epic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of focus on fight training and some cavalry charges and some swords and some spears, and it looks like a nice war epic, which is what I would want from this movie instead of a musical. And there have been rumors that they're not going to sing any of the classic songs, just have some of the music in the background. But go ahead and walk us through the trailer a little bit and tell us some of the differences you noticed from the cartoon to this live action. I mean, all we got is this like minute and a half long trailer, but just kind of tell us what your take on it is and what you noticed about it.
Well, the original. What am I trying to say? The original had where she's getting ready to meet the matchmaker for the first time, and in the trailer, the matchmaker has already picked someone for her, and it's like I'm kind of confused on that, but I'll have to see more to try to figure that out. But yeah, like in the original, she messes up because the lucky cricket isn't very lucky and turns into a disaster and makes the matchmaker very angry. So that was like the start of some of the emotion in the original. So with the trailer, I mean, it was just really only that to talk about, and then like some fighting scenes. So
so you're I guess it's kind of like the motivation might be a little bit different this time.
Yeah, which is actually a good thing. When I originally heard that there wasn't going to be any of the original songs, I was actually a little disappointed, but then, as that set in, I'm actually okay with it. Because like with Cinderella, it was very different than the original.
Mm-hmm.
And with Beauty and the Beast, there was a lot of those songs. Well, it was a little bit of it. And then I didn't think it did very well, so maybe having it be different would be a very good thing.
Yeah, definitely. It kind of seems like in the original, from what you're saying, was she kind of a little bit more open to the idea of being married off at the beginning, like her sense of honor for that particular, for lack of a better word, ritual. But when it went bad, that was kind of like the last straw. But here it seems like she's not for it at all, right? Is that kind of what you get?
In both. She wants to, bring honor to her family. She wants for them to feel proud of her. And like in the original, she's a bit of a messed up kind of person. She's accident prone, and she does things kind of out of the box. Mm-hmm. Instead of being like in the original, she had the dog help her feed the chickens. So it was just kind of like the dad is, praying to the ancestors, and the dog runs around with the bag attached to its back, and then a bone in front of it, and it's running around. And so he kind of like doesn't really seem to be shocked by it, just kind of has that look on like, yep, that's my daughter.
Now, something you did notice is it looks like there's a sister potentially, or
Yeah.
some sort of family connection in the movie. There's 4 people in the household. There's Mulan,
And then
an older woman, and an older man.
Yeah, it was supposed to, in the original, it was the parents and the grandmother. And then with this other woman in the new trailer,
She looks too young to be like a mom or...
Yeah. So it's like maybe it's the sibling that they're going with, because it's like, where's the grandmother?
Yeah. Well, the trailer's really, like we said, 90 seconds. You don't get a lot of story except for that whole thing about matchmaker at the beginning, and then the rest of it's Mulan talking about honor and wanting to do right, and wanting to fight. And like I said, it looks really beautiful. Like visually, it looks really beautiful. And if they really focus on the war aspect, that might get me in a theater seat. So, and considering they're not going to be singing any of the classic songs, if they tell me they're not going to sing at all, and it's a war epic, now I really will likely be in the theater seat.
No, I'm going to bring you.
Oh, God, no.
Yes.
There was a rumor a while ago, and I don't remember if me and Jammer talked about it on another episode of LR Mornings, but the rumor that not only are they not going to sing those classic songs, but they're going to have a phoenix in the movie instead of Mushu the dragon. Will not having a talking dragon upset you?
Honestly, at first it was kind of confusing when I heard that, because, Mushu was a big part of it, but I don't, maybe because of the way Aladdin is doing, like the way people were talking about Will Smith, like maybe they're trying to like, let's change it because we can't replace or can't seem to find a way to do this.
Yeah, but Eddie Murphy's still alive. They could have gotten him.
I know, but the original is a silly movie, and
this one looks a lot more serious.
Yeah.
I did see in the movie there is a shot of what I think is a hawk. I'm not the world's greatest bird watcher, so
that's in the original movie.
That's in the original. Okay,
yes.
I was gonna say maybe the hawk turns into a.
No,
but okay, so there's a hawk that's involved in the original movie. So there goes my talking point about whether or not the sad God fuck you no. There goes my idea that maybe that was helping to confirm the idea of a phoenix, but no. Okay, so I'm not going to say anything else about Mulan because I don't care.
You don't know anything.
Don't know jack shit about it. I know there's a song called "I'll Make a Man Out of You," and that's like when Mushu is helping her, churn make believe into, or I don't know how to phrase this
training
politically.
Montage thing.
And she's a dude and all that, but if they go with this the way it looks to be much more serious, no singing, and focus on the fighting, as beautiful as the cinematography and the imagery looked, I'm actually pretty excited about the idea of this. So, neither one of us has seen Dumbo nor Aladdin yet. I know Jammer said he went and saw Aladdin. He was kind of against it, but he said he really liked it. Okay. I remember liking Aladdin well enough growing up, and I've heard that, Will Smith does a good job as this version of the genie. So I do plan on seeing those when they hit home video. The Lion King, just because we're talking about live action Disney, Lion King comes out in like a week, 2 weeks, something like that. Is this one that you want to go see?
No, I really don't want to see it.
Why not?
Because then, for me, I can just watch the original. It looks so much the same.
Yeah.
It's like you're not bringing anything new, so why do this?
Yeah. Okay. Well, Mulan, trailer's out. Leave some comments below. Tell us what you guys thought about it. I'm really hoping for the war epic angle. That's my hopes. So let's move on a little bit. Me and you went and saw a Marvel movie last week. We went and saw Spider-Man Far From Home, and that left, we can't give any spoilers, so there will be no spoilers here, but the mid-credits and end-credits scene definitely leave some doors and windows and barn doors and hangar doors and lots of entrances and exits open for the future. And if you have been on the site over the last few weeks, you know that we reported on Marvel going to Hall H. Well, not Hall H, but we knew they were going to be at Comic-Con this year. Everybody figured it would be Hall H, but the schedule for Comic-Con actually came out now, and it is official. 5/15, July 20th at San Diego Comic-Con for an hour and a half. Marvel Studios will have Hall H, which seats 6,000 people plus. Now, me and you, we've been to Hall H.
I can't believe you had that memorized.
Well, I did just do an article on it yesterday, so I kind of looked it up. But thanks for having faith in my memory. When is our wedding anniversary again? Don't hit me. No, me and you've been to Hall H. We've been in that room.
Yes.
And it's amazing there. Mm-hmm. It's literally one of the coolest things in the world to see announcements, and unfortunately the next year that I went, you weren't able to go with me, and but I was there with Brian, who's been on Los Fanboys and LRM Ranks It. Him saw the reveal for Iron Man 2 and the trailer reveal, which was fucking amazing and phenomenal. But here's the thing. Marvel has kind of done some things at Comic-Con over the last few years, but they've also done a lot more at D23. D23 is the Disney membership club, and it's like their own convention that they have. It's a lot more limited than Comic-Con.
That's shocking.
Yeah, but everybody's kind of wondering, what will Marvel do with an hour and a half? There's been rumors that there will be kind of like a celebratory Avengers reunion, post-Endgame. Considering, the deaths that happen in Endgame, and I don't care if you haven't seen Endgame yet, I'm going to talk about the spoilers for Endgame. I'll leave Spider-Man alone, but, Tony Stark dead, Black Widow dead. You've got a lot of big changes in this movie. People that didn't come back. The original Gamora is not back, who gave her life up in Infinity War. Vision is not back. I mean, there's the Endgame left a lot of changes, and we know there's been very little announced officially. We've seen set photos from Black Widow. We know that they've talked about Shang-Chi. We know they've talked about Guardians of the Galaxy 3. There's a lot of little things, but nothing's been officially announced on which dates. They announced a whole bunch of dates through 2022, but they didn't say which movies are going where. And so the big question is what happens at Comic-Con? Do we get a Phase 4 reveal? Do we get, hey, these movies are coming out on these dates? Or do they save that for D23?
Maybe half and half?
See, I thought about that. I thought about the idea that maybe they would at least announce the 2 movies for next year, which most people think are going to be The Eternals and Black Widow. Black Widow seems to be the one furthest along because we've actually seen set photos from it.
Yeah.
And then I also thought and read on another outlet while I was doing some research over the weekend, the idea of the Disney Plus shows, WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, but and Loki, and there's another one I'm missing. I think Hawkeye's getting a show too. But for me and for you, having been there as a fan, don't you think it would be better for the fans, considering how much more people are at Comic-Con, to do the Phase 4 announcement there? And I feel like Disney's a little selfish if they hold it for D23, right?
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense, because when you go to Hall H, of course, you're going to be waiting in long lines, and you may not get in if you're further back. So it would be nice, because it's San Diego, it's hot, it's sunny.
And it's Comic-Con.
Yeah.
I mean, we went in 2008, right? Yes. We went in 2008, which was one of the that was like the first year of Twilight ever being there, because I remember everybody talking about it, and I actually thought the steampunk stuff was related to Twilight, because I had no fucking clue what the hell Twilight was. But the feeling in San Diego is incredible. We've also done New York Comic-Con.
Yep.
Me, you, Brian, and our son, all mine and your son, not mine, your and Brian's son. That would be kind of weird, but whatever, consenting weird adults and stuff. But me, you, our son, and Brian all went to New York Comic-Con in 2016, and it was very different than San Diego. Like, San Diego's like, that's a pilgrimage. That's like a holy site for geekdom, right?
Yeah.
Like, New York's pretty cool and all, but I don't know. What do you think? If you're Marvel, what do you do with Hall H this year? What do you do? Do you just celebrate the Avengers and everything that's come from the past and save shit for D23? Like, what do you tell your Disney overlords if you're Kevin Feige? What do you want to do at Hall H, Christine?
Well, if it was me, I would have to beg Disney, please let me reveal something. Let me reveal something big, because it is Hall H and it is Comic-Con, and you're gonna make some people mad.
Yeah, if we have to wait until August to figure out more stuff, we've been waiting long enough. Damn it! So,
yes.
I think what we're likely to see is more celebratory stuff over the past, things that have come. Maybe the official announcement of the 2 movies coming out in 2020, which most people expect to be Black Widow and The Eternals. Could be Shang-Chi though. Mm-hmm. There haven't been a lot of casting movement on that one, but we don't know what the next movie is going to be. But we've seen set photos from Black Widow. I think I've said that like 6 times now, so I'm going to stop saying set photos from Black Widow. But yeah, Marvel Hall H Saturday. LRM will be covering San Diego Comic-Con this year. Jammer's going to be one of the writers there, so make sure you guys are checking out the website that entire weekend for all of the latest and greatest stuff coming out of San Diego Comic-Con. And yeah, if you're going to be there, man, lucky you guys, because even if it's just like an Avengers reunion, I mean, that might be the last time you ever see the Avengers on stage together. Me and you and Brian at San Diego in 2008 saw that final Battlestar Galactica panel. And that was the last time that the entire main cast was on stage together, and that was moderated by Kevin Smith, which was just fucking awesome. And right before that was Dean Koontz. Remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember.
Author Dean Koontz, and he was talking about the Odd Thomas books and upcoming movie or TV show at the time. God, such great memories, man. I fucking love going to conventions. So I'm excited to be covering New York this year in October. And maybe I'll get lucky enough and next year be able to do San Diego. But yeah, check out LRMonline.com for all of your latest and greatest San Diego Comic-Con news. Starting, oh God, what day? Let's see, 20th is Saturday, 19th, so the 18th? Thursday the 18th of July. So not too far away. 2 weeks, little over 2 weeks. Let's continue on. We are about 120 some odd days away from what should be the movie of the century. But after December of 2017, yeah, I got my dates right. This movie, and after Endgame, I don't think this movie is going to be the movie of the century. I am, of course, talking about Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, which I fucking hate that title. I hate that title. God. How do you feel about that title?
I'm not excited about it. I don't hate it as much as you do, but then again, you have more hate than anyone I know.
My hate sustains me. It keeps me warm in the cold winter nights. And then makes me way too hot during the summer. So
yes.
I should learn how to let go of some of that hate. Let go of my hate. Anyways, Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. There has, God, man, last year and early this year, so many rumors, so many things, you know. Oh, they're going to retcon Episode 8. They're going to tell us who Rey's parents are, going to tell us who Snoke is. There's going to be all this stuff. Luke is going to have a huge role. And, like, there was a lot of stuff that really made it seem like they were going to just take everybody that was upset about Episode 8 and spend an hour and a half fixing it, so to speak. And me and you, we went and saw it opening night, and we both walked out mostly satisfied with it, right?
Yeah.
With Episode 8.
Some things you can cut, but...
Canto bite.
Yeah.
All of it. But for the most part, me and you were pretty satisfied with everything with Rey, Kylo, Luke, and Snoke, right?
Yeah.
And I felt like killing Snoke off was fine because it allows Kylo to be the bad guy. And after, I thought it would be really cool if they had done a switcheroo, like Rey goes bad and Kylo goes good. But considering they decided not to do that in Episode 8, I don't want to see Kylo redeemed at all.
Well, I mean, if you're looking at, like, the novels, I mean, it has happened before multiple times where, you know, people can come back. So I'd be okay with it if they, you know, were careful with that instead of...
But that's why I don't want it to happen. We've already seen that. But then again, if he's not redeemed, that's kind of borrowing from the EU and the Jason and Jaina, which a lot of parallels with Rey and Kylo have been made to Han and Leia's twins in the expanded universe of Jason and Jaina. And I'm going to say that name one more time for Joseph Jammer Medina because he absolutely hates the name Jason because it's spelt with a C. Like, he hates it. Can't stand it. He fucking hates it.
It's not bad.
So, actually considered that for my son's name for a while, but...
Seriously?
Before I even wanted a kid, I was like, it'd be kind of cool if I named, you know, no. But we went with Lucas instead, so go figure. Anyways, because I've seen the redemption thing happen so many times. It happened with Vader, it happened with Luke, it's happened with Kip Durant. Like, so many Jedi have been redeemed. I thought it would be really cool to not do the redemption story. So, but Episode 9, there has been a resurgence in the rumor that Rey's parents will be explained. Do you really want her parents to be somebody important?
I don't care. Because she's lived for so long without them. And yes, I know a lot of people, you know, they have a longing of knowing where they belong. But, you know, for me, just people have put that, you know, desire to know, you know, they keep, you know, doing that, and it's just driving me crazy. It's like, it doesn't really matter.
Do you think it's important for her parents to be some strong name in the Force?
No, I don't think that that would be a good idea.
Why not?
She doesn't have to be someone important in order to be someone great. You don't make a name for yourself. Be who you want to be. You don't need to have some great importance from a family tree in order to be someone great.
Yeah, definitely. I think most people that were like, oh, she needs to be a Kenobi, or oh, she needs to be a Skywalker, or a Palpatine in order to explain her power. Being a big EU fan, there was lots of Jedi that came from bloodlines that didn't have a lot of Force users, and there were bloodlines that had a bunch of Force users, and then the Force just kind of skipped out on a generation. So I don't think blood is necessarily all that important. So I really hope they don't spin on it. Here's my biggest fear is, and it's been my biggest fear since the beginning, until a couple months ago when it seemed like some of those rumors were kind of shot down during Star Wars Celebration. I don't want to spend an hour and a half of episode 9 explaining shit from episode 8. Like, just lean into it. Snoke's dead. He was nobody fucking special. Rey, she doesn't come from any fucking special bloodline of parents. She's just strong in the fucking Force. Like, why not just lean into that shit and tell us a good ending story? Like, episode 7 and 8 don't connect enough. And if episode 8 and 9 don't connect enough, and 9 is just too full of new shit, we know that they're bringing the Knights of Ren into it. We've seen photos from the set, and we've gotten confirmation that the Knights of Ren are going to be involved in this. We're talking about fixing stuff from episode 8. There's the new female character that some people thought would be Lando Calrissian's daughter, but we don't know if that's true or not. Lando's coming back. You have Kerry Russell's character, whose name is escaping me at the moment, who has a very interesting costume. Like, you got all this new stuff, but you're also supposed to wrap up the story of 9 you're wrapping up 9 fucking films this time.
Yeah.
So where's the time? You're going to add all this new shit. Like the Knights of Ren, you should have either used more of them in 7 or more of them in 8, in my mind, in order to use them in 9. You needed a lot more than just a mention in one of those 2 movies. And if you're gonna have flashbacks and stuff with Luke, possibly that's a potential, because we know Mark Hamill's in it. He kind of let go that he is going to be a Force ghost, but there's also been rumors of flashback stuff. And I worry about this movie being too full. I mean, I don't think this movie would be a 3-hour film.
But you also don't want it to be rushed.
Yeah.
And you don't want it split.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they're going to do that.
No, I don't think they're going to do episode 9, part 1 and part 2. This is it. This is the end of the Skywalker saga, is what we've been told. How does that make you feel?
It's kind of weird, actually, because they keep bringing it back after a few years, and so it's like, I don't trust you, I don't believe you, so I don't know.
Well, one of the cool things about Star Wars is how big the universe is. We know David Weiss and something Denioff, the 2 guys that did Game of Thrones, they're getting their own trilogy of Star Wars movies, and it's been rumored to be set like 100 some odd years before the prequel trilogy. With it being such a big universe, there's a lot of stories to tell. I think they've spent way too much time in between episodes 3 and 4. So much shit happens between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. Look, Solo, Rogue One, Rebels, this new Star Wars game, Fallen Jedi, or Jedi Fallen Order. Like, so much stuff happens between 3 and 4. Let's go 1,000 years in the past or 1,000 years in the future, and let's get the fuck away from the Skywalker bloodline, right?
I think that would be great. And then also, you don't mess it up the way you did Solo.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense.
Well, that's about all we've got to talk about today. Thanks so much for coming back on the show, Christine. I really appreciate you filling in for Jammer.
You're welcome.
And make sure you guys are heading over to LRMonline.com every single day for all your entertainment news and needs. You name it, we cover it, from movies and TV shows to comics and video games. Make sure you're checking out the YouTube channel. Gig's always on there with grade A celebrity interviews. There's trailer reactions, old episodes of LRM Ranks It, and there's new stuff coming. Just keep your eye out, like, share, and subscribe to that channel. Make sure you hit the bell so you can be notified whenever we do publish new content. And of course, check out the LRM Online Podcast Network, wherever you get your podcasts: Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google. We're pretty much everywhere now. Breaking Geek Radio, the podcast, LRM Ranks It, LR Mornings, the Last Call podcast, which is our monthly Star Wars series. This month, sometime around the week of Comic-Con, look for A New Hope review from me and Cam and Nick Dahl. Yeah, lots of good stuff. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to that channel. And yeah, you guys can find me at that Kyle Malone on Twitter. And I do LR Mornings every Monday through Friday, usually with Jammer, and now apparently sometimes with my wife. So yeah, you guys have a good one, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.